And here, what you can see in the screen is a summary of the information created by our algorithm. If we play in replay traffic, we see that we right now we started replaying the traces, these anonymized traces, and sending all the data to our algorithm, and we see how the profiles are being created. So in reality, we are creating something like 316 profiles per second and analyzing more than 600 megabytes per second. And I'm running this right now in a normal laptop. So if you run this in a server with a GPU, typically you get more than 4 gigabits per second of traffic analyzed in a single GPU. And here on the left we have the average profile for the users of this network that is slightly changing over time. And here on the right we have the analysis for a single user. If we stop now, we see, for example, that this user that has visited some of this website is obtaining this profile in our system. Coming back to the average profile, we see how in different regions the average profile of the users is different, and also it changes a little over time, even in a single region. If we go now let's try to understand how these profiles are created. And if we go to this to the user personalization demo, here we can create a random profile and send it to our algorithm. So let's see, for example, that a user, this is from the data in Spain that was collected in a university. If we have, for example, a user that is visiting the website, the math website of Harvard, GitHub, and Instagram, we see here that our algorithm says that this user is very interested in technology and computing, in education and science as well. That makes sense, and also in other things like health and fitness and sports, or even careers that are also inferred by our algorithm. If we continue adding or removing some of these, we get different profiles for different users. Also, it is important to know that here we have something like 20 categories, but in reality our profiling algorithm is creating the profile using more than 340 categories. Here we are also presenting a summary of the complete result. Finally, we can compare the profiles generated with our algorithm for the profiles that the standard advertising can create. So here, if we in this page, what we have is the profile that we are able to generate, the profile that the standard advertising, let's say like all these companies doing advertising like Google, Facebook, or Amazon are doing, and finally the profile or the ads a user receives when he visits some website, but with the third-party cookies block. That, as you know, probably all browsers will by default block third-party cookies in less than 1 year. So here we define some personas. This is some user that has visited a very specific website. So, for example, if we go here, this is a website that visits all these websites that are typical Spanish websites to find flight tickets. And we can see how in our system we say that the user is interested in travel, but probably also in technology and computing, sports, and hobbies and interests. This is probably because most users in our system in this dataset were interested in that. The online advertising ecosystem is able to send almost all the ads about traveling, so they do a very good job. And even when you block third-party cookies, they start receiving a lot of ads about business and more than traveling, but still they understand that the user is interested in traveling. But for example, if we go to a video games fan, in our system we understand that the user is interested in technology and computing, arts and entertainment, hobbies and interests. That all makes sense. And also in education, probably because in our datasets, most users that are playing video games are also students of the university or something similar. The standard advertising is able to say that they are interested in technology and computing. That makes sense. And shopping, that probably doesn't make that much sense, but probably they had a shopping campaign that they were saying to everybody. But here we can say that if we block third-party cookies, the standard advertising is completely blind, right? And they are sending ads about business and travel to university students that are playing video games, which is probably not very good. Okay, this is. I hope with this you understand better what we do with the user profiling system or the user profiling algorithm. All the code is in the repository of PimCity, and if you have any doubt, of course you can contact me, and I will try to help you.